Hello, Internet. Welcome back to another edition of Eric's Corner with the Word of the Not So Wise. So, going to do an episode as per request by one of my fans, AS2 Williams. Big shout out. Messaged me and asked me to talk about the whole Greenland, Gulf of America, and Canada issue. So, big shout out, Williams. So, apparently, Greenland has a lot of resources and like 15,000 ish people live there. So, why not bring some jobs there and mine their resources? That's out in the middle of nowhere, so why the hell wouldn't we mine their resources and all this good stuff? And this whole nonsense about like, oh, we'll make it a territory and so on and so forth. Like, well, Jesus Christ, Trump's just saying shit at some point to get shock value. Like, he doesn't really think Canada should become the 51st state. He's just talking shit and big dog and Justin Trudeau, who is a tool, by the way. I hope I can say that on YouTube, criticize Canada's leader. Maybe, maybe not. But so he decided to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Well, again, chess move. He's doing that because Biden put unstoppable stops on drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. So, well, we'll change the name of it. And I assumed that we would have to ask Mexico to drill there or to pay them some kind of percentage. But I don't know how that works with going in international waters. I have no idea. I don't give a shit either. But apparently it was to get around something. It's, man, we got to drill some oil, man. I mean, we can't just do this green energy shit and just make all that shit go away. And it's so befuddling to me. I mean, the fact that it takes so much lithium and mining and diesel fuel to even build a windmill or to mine lithium and all this. And I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. I think he's a really smart guy. But like, I mean, didn't we talk about the slave labor in Africa that it takes to mine the cobalt and lithium? I mean, we're kind of overstepping some very big human rights issues here. I feel like. It'd be one thing if we were paying them lots of money, which they're not, and just talking shit to Justin Trudeau and tell him like, oh, okay, like, oh, we don't want totalitarianism, but we're going to freeze the bank accounts of truckers that are protesting us and our mandates. And I don't know. This is all such a big mess. I think. Well, I know actually coming in and having an outsider put in new legislation and say, hey, we're putting a stop to all this, and getting somebody in who isn't a puppet, who's having his strings pulled by the deep state, I know is a good idea. But I pretty much, I mean, I wish Kamala just would have won, because all we're doing now with Trump is just kicking the can down the road 4 years. I mean, I hope JD Vance runs for president, but I mean, there's just no way he's going to have the traction to win, or they'll just cheat again like they did in 2020. We all know it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's absolutely absurd to just, people say, well, that's fine if they cheated because the guy I wanted in won via cheating. But didn't you guys scream Russian collusion for 4 years when Trump won, and there was it was completely groundless accusations? And then when there's obvious fraud on the other side, it's, oh, well, whatever, the ends justify the means. It just absolutely makes no sense. So anyway, let's get resources from Greenland, make good business deals with them. I mean, why not? And I know people that, I mean, I got some people whose opinions I really admire and respect, say, this just isn't how it works. Like, Elon Musk shouldn't be doing the audit. We need forensic accountants and so on and so forth. Yeah, but who are they bought and paid for by? But Yeah, I mean, I get it. But I mean, nothing's ever going to be done that pleases everybody. And we got to make sure we don't have objections that make no sense. Like, it's just, well, Elon Musk isn't the guy to do it. Okay, I mean, oh well. I mean, somebody's going to have to come in and just wrecking ball this whole thing. 37 trillion in debt. I don't even know what that means at this point. I just, what, overspending? How the hell did it get past a trillion? I mean, who are we borrowing money from? Where is it coming from? Who do we owe pittance to for supporting us? China, I assume China. And then you're confused when they want to buy our farmland, which how in God's name that was ever allowed. Okay, you don't got to invade a country, just buy it. I mean, we're owned by foreign interests. That makes absolutely no goddamn sense to anybody. So, and people say, oh, well, tariffs are going to be bad for the American consumer. Well, why does Trump threaten a country with it and then they do as he says? Why are companies saying we can't afford the tariffs, so we're going to move manufacturing back to America? Because it's bad for the consumer. They shouldn't give a shit, right? Okay, well, oh, it's going to boost their stock. Okay, why are they moving to where it's cheaper then? This makes complete sense to me that he must be doing something right. And didn't a president pay off the national debt at some point? I don't remember who the hell it was when he did it with tariffs. And you guys keep screaming, oh, well, rich people need to pay more in taxes than their fair share. It's like, okay, well, doesn't that force them to? What is their fair share? That's a vague amount. It's like climate change. It's not an actual amount. What percentage? And they're going to get around it anyway. And, oh, he's just making tax breaks for the wealthy. It's like in corporations. Well, yeah. So you either give them tax breaks and they move the manufacturing and their companies here, or they go overseas and don't pay anyway. I mean, I'm not sure what the solution is, and honestly, I'm not even sure what the problem is. But we're all being taxed to death, and they're spending triple even what we're all being taxed. I mean, you say, oh, this guy's a billionaire. It's like, yeah, he doesn't have $500 billion cash in his pocket. That's what stock is worth. That's what, okay, Walmart, for example, all their land, the merchandise on the shelves, the buildings, the trucks, the warehouses, that's what that shit is all worth. These guys don't have that kind of cash. I mean, yes, they have an insane amount of it, but I mean, something's got to balance it out. Like, oh, they need to pay people a living wage. Well, my living wage right now is way higher than it was when I was 30, and not even adjusted for inflation. I mean, when I was 20, I was working in a warehouse making $15 an hour, working 50, 55 hours a week, and I had a brand new truck. Rent was cheap. I had a late model snow machine that I rode all the time, and I wasn't putting anything away, but I was, of course, drinking a lot of what I made. And, I mean, I couldn't imagine paying $1,500 in rent back then. That would absolutely destroy me. So I'm not quite sure what the solution is here. And like I said, I'm not sure what well, I know what the problem is. Our dollar has dropped so much in value, and it's supply and demand. There's a lot more demand for apartments, and the supply hasn't gone up, and it's so expensive to build more. Investors have to spend more to build the new apartment buildings, so they have to get return on their investment. And when you're talking a percentage, the more it goes up, the higher their percentage, which is how business works. I talked about flipping vehicles and all this stuff, and it's like I need a percentage on my return on investment. So just upscale that to a house or an apartment complex. It kind of makes sense. So damn it, lost my train of thought. I do that. So yeah, I mean, and buying a house is just completely outside the realm of anybody's grasp. And I don't even know who the hell's buying all these places. I expected that peak to be gone 2 years ago, and I'm just completely confused as to how used car values are still so high when nobody has the money to buy groceries and things they have to have. Like, what the hell is going on here? I I mean, something's got to give here. There's either going to be a big collapse or a correction. I mean, by no means do I want a housing market collapse, because I'm still not going to be able to buy a place because I'm going to have no job, or I'm going to have to go work up on the North Slope or something, which I really don't want to do. But I will if I have to. I don't want to be gone 2 weeks working at a time. I want to be home with my kids. So I almost don't even remember what the main subject is. Okay, Greenland, Gulf of America, Canada. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's all I got, I guess. So thank you for joining me. Stay tuned for more videos. I hope I'm back on my routine of putting out a couple videos a weekend, because I haven't put out anything for like 3 months, and that's way too long. I got too much to vent about and get off my chest. So thank you for joining me. I'll hope to see you next time.